Welcome to Soul, Light, and Body. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from. Thank you for joining us today. Today is such a beautiful day because we're here once again, and we are given this beautiful opportunity that whatever we are working on our lives, we are given this opportunity that we could change it. We could go deep within ourselves and we could change it. Many times we ask ourselves, or we even ask other people, I don't even know what is my purpose here. What do you love to do? What motivates you? Once you could find the one thing that motivates you and the one thing that you love, keep working on it. You will find your purpose in that thing. And I just want to touch on a little subject before we start the show. Your kids, let them know how much you love them. Tell your children how much you love them every day. Let the love start from home. That when they get older, they don't have to be seeking someone to love them. They know that they are loved. Because many times when we get older in life, we are holding on to something and we are looking for love outside of ourselves, not knowing that we are loved. So make sure you tell your kids that they are loved and how much you love them. So they don't have to be looking for love when they get older in life. It's very important that we really start to do things like that in our household. It's so important. What are you grateful for today? Are you continuing to do your journaling and writing 3 things that you're grateful for? Because many days we are in the big rush and we're forgetting to write these things down that we are grateful for. So make sure you find that time, even if it's 5 minutes. Start that morning routine and write down 3 things that you're grateful for. It is so important. How are you showing up in the world? How are you showing up in the world? Are you being of service? Are you pouring love into the world? The world needs love, a lot of love. And today we got such a beautiful topic. Living a life you can learn from. Because many times we go through these different experiences and we live in regrets. We blame other people. We don't want to go through these experiences to awakening, to really understand why we are here or a purpose here. So today we have Belle V, and she is here to help us to really understand how we can live a life and learn from it. Because all the experiences and the situations that we go through, each help us to grow and each help us to evolve. Don't matter how bad it may look, don't matter how bad it may seem, it's helping you to grow. And once, excuse me, once you keep resisting, once you have that resisting energy, that is what is going to come back to you. So until you surrender and understand that whatever is happening, it's happening for your higher good, and don't go up against it, there's where the magic happens. Your whole life, make that shift. And then you will understand that, you know what? I had to do this for this to happen. Because without you don't do number one, you can't get the other one. So you got to start from somewhere before you could shift. So today, we also want to congratulate Belle V because Today is 250 days she's been sober. 250 days she is sober. And for her to reach this 250 days, I know it had to be a wild journey for her to meet here. But I leave that story for her to tell. I am Karen Pascal, holistic health and wellness coach and a co-author of 2 ebooks with my sister, Joan Williams. We also have a digital magazine and a hard copy magazine. And the subscription link is in the comments below, so you could subscribe so you will never miss none of the magazines. Each month it comes out and you could able to get a copy in your inbox and in your home box. So I'll now hand you over to Miss Joan Williams.
Wow, what a great, thank you so much. What a great opening. Good evening to all of you. Happy Friday. And what an amazing day. It's a great season. And just like how life moves us from winter months into spring and the other months and the other season, that's the way life works with us. We change at different times. We move into last seasons, new seasons. And when we do reflect, sometimes there are necessary endings of seasons. They're necessary endings. And sometimes when that ending comes for us, we can't go back. We can't go back because it was necessary. It is necessary for us to have those endings. So sit with that and think about it. Now we're in spring. It's all beautiful. We're seeing all the different colors, the leaves, flowers, and everything just popping up through. And that gives us hope because sometimes in our lives we feel things are just dormant and it's nothing is happening. It's just silence. And we're looking for something. But who? The next day come and then you see a new flower. Beautiful. Are we able to release the things that we are attached to from the past? Are we holding on to that? Because when we hold on to that, that really hinder us in moving forward. Are we able to move clutter from within and clutter outside of us? Are we able to do that so we can have the sense of freedom that we can move through life daily? Are we showing ourselves love and compassion? Because we got to show ourselves grace sometimes. Sometimes challenges. I know, Karen, you have challenges. But what challenges us, it helps us to grow. It helps us to evolve. It helps us to expand who we are as an individual. Because every day is a new day. And just remember the universe is our playground and it supports us. Whatever your belief might be, God, source, whatever it is. But we all can understand there is something else higher outside of us than our human being as a self. Are you able to set your intentions? How is that working for you? Because how you set your intentions, and when you set your intentions, be confident about it. Because know that there is where your greatness is. And continue to love on yourself and show yourself compassion. Because you know what? You're beautiful. You're special. You're unique. You're one of a kind. So celebrate you and also celebrate your small and big wins as well because they're both important. They both are important. Whatever it is that you have accomplished, whether it's small or big, you have worked hard to get there. A lot it took out of you, a lot of strength. And you had to be strong enough mentally, physically, and emotionally, whatever project it is, whatever it is that you worked on, that you have arrived and got it and won there. It took a lot out of you. So celebrate that. And today we got a beautiful guest. My name is Joan Williams, holistic health and wellness coach, and also the co-author of the 2 ebooks. And the magazine is truly amazing because we're getting a lot of great reviews about it. and people are able to earn a little tips that just help you on your daily living, because everything matters how we live our life and help us to live our true essential self. So today we have our amazing, beautiful, special guest. She's got so much value to bring to us today, and she's going to talk to us about so much about 15 years working in corporate, and has really decided to change, and she has evolved with her confidence and body who she is. And now she's empowering other women and other entrepreneurs in their leadership role as a yoga teacher and so many different things. But she is here to share so much with us today. So sit back, relax, just chill, and just receive everything that's going to come from Belle today. Thank you for joining
Yeah.
us, Belle.
Oh my, what a beautiful introduction. Honestly, what you said, Karen, what you said, Joan, it's so aligned of what we're going to talk about today. I am in awe of the level of connection that we have. And I'm just going to start this call just by sharing with everybody a little bit of how we met. We tried to get together in December. We couldn't do it because I was traveling, and then Karen was traveling too around the same time. And we just couldn't do it. And during that time, a lot of things happened that I will share in a bit. A lot of transformation and coincidences in life that I don't think they are coincidences at all. They were just things that were aligned in our life. But when we had our first call, the level of connection that I felt with both of these ladies was just out of this world. And I remember specifically saying to them, this is not the first time we are together. We have met before, because I just cannot believe that all of this is coming up in a call with two women that I just met in this world, in this era. So we definitely met before. And I also had this nudge to share with Joan and share with Karen an experience in my life that this is the first time that I'm going to share it in publicly. Um, that completely transformed and that I have only shared with a few very intimate people in my life, my very close friends. And the reason why I think this is a great opportunity is because there's so much to learn. And if I can be a living analogy, so this can be shared with everybody so they can, get their own version of learning, then that's my purpose. That is my service that I give in this life. So I am very grateful to be here, and I would like to start our call. Just all of my calls, all of my clients, all the people that are in my world when we have calls, we start with movement and mindfulness. So I would love to have the opportunity to have just about 5 minutes for us to connect with our bodies. So wherever you are, go ahead and close your eyes. Close your eyes. Just dial into your body, dial into your natural breath. Feel whatever is going on, maybe any noises around the room where you are, the temperature of the room. Feel the air brushing your skin as you inhale, and feel the warmth of the air as you exhale. Just mindfulness is not about being meditating all the time, but bringing awareness to your life force, to your breath, to your heartbeat, to your senses. Just a couple more moments here. Take 3 deep breaths through your nose. One more. Go ahead and come back to awareness. Open your eyes very gently. We're going to do a very quick breathing exercise. And know that this breathing exercise, you can do it especially when you are in a situation where you need to connect with your body. For example, you're about to have a conversation with your boss, or you're about to get into a meeting and has you a little bit hyper. So go ahead and use your peace fingers and place them in between your eyebrows. Release your thumb and release your ring finger. With your thumb, you're gonna block your right nostril. You're gonna leave your left nostril open. Go ahead and take a big inhale through the left. Go ahead and block, release your thumb, and exhale through the left through the right nostril. Repeat. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Alternate nostril breathing. This very simple exercise can bring you back to your body, can bring coolness back into your body. Do 2 more rounds. Inhale through the left. Exhale to the right. Inhale to the left. Exhale through the right. Go ahead and now switch. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. We are activating both hemispheres of our brains. Our left side, our feminine side, that usually will bring us relaxing and yin energy in our life. And the right side, the masculine side of us. Like if you need to be energetic, if you need to be present, if you need to be like go, go, go in that meeting, concentrating that breathing through the right and exhale through the left. Just take 2 more rounds and know that this is available to you when you are about to get into a difficult conversation and you need to be grounded and centered. Go ahead and release. Come back to awareness. Enjoy whatever is going on in your body. And before we start our beautiful conversation, let's just take a big inhale and raise your arms up. As you exhale, go ahead and twist. You can do this in a chair. You can do this as you are working in your computer. You're doing home office all the time. Stay here for 2 full breaths. And come back to center. Inhale, fill your lungs with air. And exhale, twist to the other side. Twist from your torso. Visualize your organs moving, functioning, feeling gratitude for what they do for you all day long. One more breath here. And exhale, come back to center. All of the energy on your body that you're moving in your spine, in your organs, in your arms, the air in your lungs, all of that, it's available to you every day. And it just needs a little bit of acknowledgement, a little bit of love. This is how I start my calls with everyone, with movement, with breathing, with mindfulness. So just a little bit of a sneak peek of what I do, because I like for everybody to be connected with their body. And this, we just did 5 minutes, but in reality, we can, sometimes I can do 10 minutes of body connection. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. So what is reinvention? The way that Karen started this call talking about, tell your kids that you love them, like move with purpose. It's so aligned to the topic today. I am a reinvention mentor. And for me, what is reinvention? So reinvention is basically the resignification of life events. And everybody here, all of us, I bet my bottom dollar that we have had experiences that have brought us to our knees at some point. And at some point have even made us question ourselves. Why is this happening to me? Why did this happen to me? And absolutely everyone has lived through these experiences. But what I see is that some of us somehow have come out of this and reinvented ourselves And we talk about this not from a throne, not from a pedestal, but from a place where we want to share the fight and the struggle, because this is where people transform. Because the ones that have been able to use this as soil for something better are the evidence that we can come out stronger and wiser. And all of this is started by identifying those experiences. So you can come to me and say, I don't think I have lived that. So I'm going to tell you this. If you have something in your life that has given you a before and an after when something happened, that is your reinvention moment. If something happened and life was one way before the event happened and then it was completely different, that is your reinvention moment. And the way that you can use this as soil to make to look at it in a positive sense, that is what you use to resignify. So after having these experiences, you know that you can reinvent yourself, that you can impact people, that you know that every time that something happens to you, you get into that mindset of, why am I supposed to learn from this? What is life telling me? Life is talking to us all the time. Life, God, universe, whatever you call that creator force, it's always talking to you. So when you say, when something is happening, you can question yourself and say, am I going too fast? And this is probably why this event is happening. Maybe I'm going too slow. Maybe the words that I used hurt somebody. Maybe I stayed quiet when I shouldn't, and I should have spoke up, right? So that's how you identify those things. When you find a before and an after, and when you have the opportunity to question, what is life telling me? And for as with everything, I'm a little bit of a nerd on that side, and I like to make processes, right? I like to go like step one and step two because that's how our brains work. And sometimes when we see a process of things, there's like, okay, I can do that. So my step number one to get into reinvention mode is to get out of the victim mode. Okay. And that can be too harsh sometimes for people. And I'm going to give you a quick example. Do you know people that, for example, got a divorce and 15 years after are telling you, the reason why I'm so bitter is because I got divorced? And you're asking them, okay, when did this happen? You're probably thinking, oh my gosh, it probably happened last month. No, it happened 15 years ago. Because sometimes pain is the only thing that people have left. And as human beings, we latch onto that pain. We defend that pain. But life goes on. And life doesn't stop for you to solve it. We solve life as we live, as we move. This is why I start my cult with movement, because we move in life all the time. And the world doesn't stop when something happens. This doesn't mean that you need to ignore your pain. This doesn't mean that you have to ignore that need of, maybe I need a cuddle, maybe I need, it doesn't mean that you ignore it. It means that you feel it, you leave it, and you move. It's part of the process. And I think me being 250 days sober today is a great example, because I can use the feelings of sobriety when I talk about feeling your feelings. Feeling your feelings in a sober way is a way to be empowered in your adulthood, in your womanhood, in your motherhood. It is the ultimate sign of adulthood. I am feeling what I'm feeling. I feel pain. I feel sadness. And I am growing through my life experience. And I know that there are people that have that ability. I am an example of that. Karen is an example of that. And Joan is an example of that. My clients are examples of that. The women that wake up at 5:30 every morning to make it to my 6 morning classes are examples of that. So it does happen. And what I've noticed before is that people that have gone through the most unimaginable pain and tragedies are the people that have the best attitude. The people that have gone through the most pain, losing a loved one, um, losing their home, are the people that see the light in situations. So, what we do with what happens to us is our responsibility. That is your responsibility. And I say this a lot because it's very easy to say, he hurt me and I need an apology. No, you don't. You don't need an apology to recognize your pain. Your pain is your pain and you feel it. And you recognizing your pain is more than enough. An apology is nice. Of course, it's nice. But I don't need it because I know my body and I know how it feels and I know my pain. So that would be my step number one. And Karen and Joan, please feel free to interrupt me at any point if you want to
Just,
add something onto that.
just keep going.
No, well,
Okay. All right. So then we come to what like to call my step number two, which is making sense of it, right? Because you're gonna say, okay, so I find the event now. I see the event. How do I make sense of it? It's not easy. I would say that this is one of the I'm not gonna say the hardest, but it is a very difficult part that requires the inner work. It's not easy. It takes a lot of work. And I'm gonna give you a personal example. I had a very painful experience. I'm a mom of three kids, and I had a very painful experience with one of my children, with my eldest, a couple of years ago. And that moment brought me to my knees. It did. I was always there. I've been working from home even before the pandemic happened. So I was there. In the books, I was there. I was with my kids, I was working, I was doing all the things, but I was never present for them. I didn't see signs around me because I was too focused on other things. I was focused on working. I was focused on climbing that corporate ladder. And when that situation happened, I questioned my abilities as a mother. I said, how did I not see this? How did I allow myself to get into this mess? And how am I going to come out of it? So if somebody had told me, oh, something happens for a reason, I would have said, absolutely no, there's no reason something like this should happen. But I can say now, after 3 years of the event, I can say now, because of that experience and because of what I learned, I'm a better mother. I don't take it for granted. And this is why when Karen was starting with this, again, I didn't know that I was going to share this, but when she started with this, love your children and tell them, tell them, don't assume that they know it. Say it.
True. True.
And today, when I look back, I recognize my pain. I can feel compassion from me when I was like so brokenhearted. But right now, I say I'm a better mom because of that. And it's not that I don't care about what happened to me. It's it that I found meaning in what happened to me.
right.
And what that makes me think is that how many people have changed their way of life because, I don't know, something happened for because they were forced. Maybe they lost a job and now they are the CEOs of a company, or maybe they, I don't know, their car was stolen or something like that, and then they realized that I don't know, maybe it was time, I don't know, to start working from home or not to avoid traffic. There's always reason in something. I don't like to say that things happen for a reason, but I like to say that we can find a reason in
Yes.
what happens,
Yes.
because I don't think my destiny is already there. It's written. I think God is so good. God is not, plotting and saying now this is gonna happen to her and she no. I think God is so amazing. God is so giving that whatever happens to me, he knows that I can find reason in my experience. Do you like that?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
This is a lot of juicy stuff.
Yeah, I'm sweating, I'm feeling all the
and
vibes.
that is so amazing. I mean, the way you describe every single thing and how we can look at things from a different perspective is truly an amazing look. Look at it from this lens that everything happened, we learn from that and we move forward. Because sometimes we're looking for that apology. I like that piece that you mentioned, that he left me, or you're looking for that apology from someone. No, accept it, understand it did happen, but then how do you move forward from there matters.
Exactly. And I think that my one of my greatest, I would say, learnings is that today I know that life puts me in places that I need to be, that I will be able to fight and survive and bloom. You were talking about spring. God in life puts me there to save me from the things that I won't be able to,
So true.
you know?
So
So
true.
the situation with my son is painful, but God knew that I could survive that. If that hadn't happened, I would have probably had one of the biggest tragedies a mother can experience. So I am grateful we were able to build resilience and connection, because that will never be forgotten by him or by me. And because of that, I became a better mother to my little ones. So I am thankful for that. But to be able to think like this, guess what we need? And this is not coincidence. We need body, mind, and soul connection.
Yes.
We need to be able to be open of mind, open of soul, to understand that there is something greater, a bigger purpose, and why this is coming to my life. Because there are very wise universal forces that live in us. We are the universe. We are the image of God. So we are creators. So that universal force is within. Okay. My third part of the process would be to let go of the myth that good people had good experiences and bad people had bad experiences. Because we have seen countless of times that people are not that great and that do things that are not too nice, whether these are public figures, people that we see on TV, or people that are related to us, that do really horrible things and nothing happens. And we have also seen people that, as I said, go through unimaginable pain and experiences, and they are the best people that you ever met. So we have to let go of the myth that good things happen to you, and bad things happen to you if you're bad. Is not about that. Is what we do with what happens with us. And to be able to have that openness to learn from your heart. So, for example, I think that for me has become one of my greatest values is that when I am on service, it's because I really feel it in my heart. For example, if you, I don't know, you need to retrain your brain in a way that, let's say, you are of service to somebody. You are doing a service, you're having a call, you're doing a favor. But in the back of your mind, you're expecting payback. In the back of your mind, you're expecting some kind of validation.
Yes.
In the back of your mind, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do that because he'll know, she'll know. If the answer is yes to any of those questions, don't do it. And I see this a lot in women. It's very common, especially in women. We do this with our partners, that
Mm-hmm.
I need to become indispensable. I need to become the one that's there to get that validation. So
Mm-hmm.
that for me is like another proof of having that openness and be able to open from your heart. When you're able to open your heart and to help from your God, to help from your heart, you're able to have this openness to resignify these experiences. Okay.
That is
So yeah, absolutely. And why why am I saying all of this? I would say that this is one of the latest parts of the process, right? Is that why am I doing what I'm doing? Question my belief. Question the belief of why this is happening to me. I come from a family where all of us are independent women, and I was instilled the belief that men are bad, that men cheat, that you're better off alone. So the moment that I started to question that belief, it wasn't even something that happened to me. It was probably something that happened to my grandma. It was probably something that happened to my mom. So why do I have this belief? And by me questioning that belief and healing my belief, I am healing my mother's belief and I am healing my grandma's belief. And I heard this on the internet a few days ago. My mother is an upgraded version of my grandma, and I am an upgraded version of my mom. And as we continue to heal, and as my daughter learns other things, then this is how you heal generations.
Yes.
When we
Yes,
do what they
yes,
weren't able to
yes.
do, right?
Totally agree. Totally
You're
agree.
on point with what you're saying there, Belle. That is how we heal generational. Because if we tell ourselves it's gonna start with us, you decide to make that conscious choice to impart these things in your children or impart anybody who you meet. You start to tell them these things. It helped them to heal also, and it helped them to understand that healing can take place for generations, and it starts with you.
Yeah.
Love what you just said there. I just love what you just pointed out there. It starts with us.
Thanks for enlightening.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And it's very tied to how we started our conversation, right? Having that radical responsibility and be empowered in our adulthood. There are a lot of adults that still have that, pain from childhood. And I'm not diminishing trauma. I know that we all have our bits of what happened to us. I'm not diminishing it. But I am an adult now. And now I can heal and protect that little girl. I can protect little Belle. I can
Yeah.
help her heal because I have the resources that she didn't have. So that is how I empower myself and I encourage women, men to do that because we are not that defenseless child anymore. So what this takes us is to the following step, which is it might be so simple, but be patient. How many
Yes.
of us, we
Yes.
buy the course, we
Yes.
buy the book, this is gonna heal me, right? The
Yeah.
meaning of what happened to you, oh my God, I love to say this. And I say this to my clients all the time. The meaning of what happened to you is at the core of the experience. Okay? The meaning is at the core. What this means is that you might need to peel away layers and layers and layers and layers and layers for the next days, weeks, or years to get to that center. The
Yes.
meaning is not going to come right away. The meaning is not going to come, oh my, and I'm going to tell you why this came to me because I'm going to share with you an experience that happened to me. It's not going to happen right away. Part of the learning process is learning to have compassion for the most important person of your life, you. If you are able to have compassion in your own process of learning and discovering yourself while you are removing those layers, then you can be compassionate with others. We cannot give what we don't
Yes.
have,
So
right?
Yes.
say that.
Yes.
So true.
Yes.
Yeah. And that takes us to, I would say, not our last, but that is what takes us to transformation.
Mm.
Because before I share my experience with you, I want to tell you that transformation happens through all of this, the patience and the love and the questioning your belief. But transformation is knowing that only through the crack is where light enters. Through the
Love.
crack. You are in a room of darkness and there is a little crack. Your experience, your pain. That's where light comes from. And when you know that, when you are able to look back and see, okay, okay, I see it. And I am patient. I am learning. I feel sad. I feel angry. I'm going to feel it because I know there's a bigger purpose and I'm learning and I'm here for it. And I'm here for it. That is openness. That is believing in God. That is believing in you. That is believing in life. That is believing that you are here for service. Whether you have an online business or not, whether you have a corporate job, you are in service and you know that your experiences have a meaning.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And yeah, and without further ado with that, because I don't want us to be like running very close to the time, I want to share an experience with you. I shared it with Karen and with Joan in the past. This is the first time that I say publicly, so if I start crying and get emotional, it's the first time that I talk about this, and it's very tied to everything that I just said to you, everything that I just shared with you, because I feel like there is so when you start to look to see your life as the manual for whatever else you're about to live for your next steps is when you become your own inspiration, when you can really tap into your intuition. So I'm going to share with you, last year I went to one of the most wonderful vacations that I have had in my life. I went with my family, with my children, with my husband. We went to Mexico. We had an amazing time with our family. We took my mom, and I saw my sister that I hadn't seen in 14 years. I saw my nephew and my nieces. I saw my in-laws, and we took them to the beach. It was amazing. So it was like almost 5 weeks of pleasure. And I was just over the moon. And one of the things that I really encourage people that work with me or people that I meet anywhere is that when you make decisions, you make them from a grounded place. Because we talk about the sadness and the anger, but hype and excitement is also disconnection from the body. Hype and excitement is not a neutral state. You cannot be like that all the time. That would be exhausting. It's just impossible. So when I went to Mexico, I've always been so scared of the ocean. I never learned how to swim ever because I was so scared of the ocean. And this time, when we were in Mexico, my husband was so adamant to rent jet skis. And this is why I know excitement is a disconnection from the body because I didn't remember my fear. I didn't remember my panic of the ocean. And I said, yeah, let's do it. We got the jet skis, and our mistake number one was that I was not wearing a life jacket, and my daughter was not wearing a life jacket. And we live in Canada, so the most swimming that we can do is at the gym, right? Because everything is cold here. So it's not like we are used to be in the ocean. We were in the jet skis. I was with my father-in-law, and my husband was with my daughter in the jet skis, and I saw how my husband and my daughter tipped over in the ocean. We were about 50 meters away from the shore. When I saw them tipping over, at the beginning, I didn't get too scared because my husband knows how to swim. He was wearing a life jacket. But then something was not right. My father-in-law started to get closer to them. And at that moment, it's one of the scariest experiences I've ever lived. It's the first time in my life that I saw full panic in my husband's eyes. He looked at me and he shook his head. No, like telling me, that's it. Like, I'm gone. Grab her. We were not talking, but I knew he was talking to me. He was pushing her, but the more that he was pushing her towards us, he was sinking. And at that moment, I just started crying. I started crying and screaming. I started saying, no, no, no. I grabbed my daughter and I put her hand on the jet ski and I told her, hold yourself. And I grabbed my husband's hand, knowing that there's no way that I can pull him. He's a big guy. And I said to him, baby, please don't. He was drowning. And the unimaginable happened. Then my father-in-law and I tipped over. When I fell into the ocean, I knew I was gone. I have never swim on the ocean. I've never swim, period. And I don't know how I started swimming. I started swimming. I was holding my daughter from her hand and I was swimming. And it was like milliseconds of me realizing, oh my gosh, I'm swimming and holding her. she started telling me, "You're drowning me. You're drowning me." She let go of my hand. I was screaming. I was so scared. She was screaming. I could see my husband going underwater and coming up and going down and coming up. My father-in-law was stuck on the other side on the jet ski. He dislocated his shoulder when we tipped over. It was a mess. My daughter let go of me and she started swimming towards the shore. She was still screaming. And at that moment, when I saw my daughter fighting for her life, every time that I talk about this, I get so emotional because when I saw my daughter swimming and fighting for her life, even though she was so scared, it kind of kept me alive. It kind of like said, okay, everything is fine. Even though I knew in my heart she was not going to make it, we were so far. I I knew that I had to stay alive, even for a little bit. And at that moment, everything that I have learned came to my mind. My yoga training, my breathing training, my mindfulness, everything that I have learned, it's like in that moment of panic, it came together. So I started to coach my daughter from there and I said, baby, don't panic, don't scream. Breathe through your nose. Make a balloon with your tummy. Don't scream, don't waste your energy. You're okay. Keep swimming, baby. Keep swimming, baby. And again, I knew she was not gonna make it, but I said, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die cheering her up, and I'm gonna die having her fighting for her life. So I remember looking, and my husband wasn't there anymore. I thought he's gone. I'm focusing on my daughter. Know that we were all dying. So at that moment, I was like, we're gonna die fighting. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't have an explanation. This was a true miracle. My husband came out of the water with all of his strength, and I saw him swimming towards the jet ski. When he got into the jet ski, for me, it seemed like an eternity, but he it was probably a few seconds. He recovered a little bit, and then he started to get close to my daughter, pulled her back, put her in the jet ski. He looked back and looked at me. At that moment, we never spoke, but I know he told me, hold on, hold on. He had to make a choice. If he had grabbed both of us, we would have tipped over again. He had to make a choice, and he did. He made the right choice. He took her to safety. When they left, I knew my life was over. I There was no way that I was gonna be able to hold on more. When I looked at my watch after the event, I realized that we spent about 15 minutes in the water. I was exhausted. When I saw them leaving, what I felt was relief. And I said, thank you, God, because you're saving them. You saved them. And somehow that made me lighter. That made me flow. That made me, it was what Karen was talking about. It's the surrendering. I surrendered to what was happening. And I was able to stay on longer. And what I take from this experience is that there was never a moment in this 15 minutes of panic that I wasn't afraid. I was afraid. I was scared. But what was more powerful than my fear was my love. My love for them, my love for my family, my love for the people that have been in my life. That is what kept me alive. Seeing my daughter fighting for her life, seeing my husband coming out, seeing them leaving to shore, that is what kept me alive. So it's not an analogy, it is real life. But what I can take from this is that it's okay if you're afraid. If you're human, you're gonna be afraid. But your love is bigger than that. Your love and your desire to see your loved ones is bigger than that. So thank God we all survived. We're all okay. He came back. He got me. We made it to shore. I could feel the trauma, how he was like starting to settle in my brain, and he like I was started to be very scared, and he stopped me. He said, "No, don't, don't, don't let fear take over. We survived. We survived. Like it's not just a simple thing. We were in the ocean. Not even the ocean drowned us. So let's be humble and let's feel gratitude. We are alive and let's celebrate that now." If he hadn't said that, that would have created another level of trauma in my brain, but it didn't. I feel grateful. And I share this with you as the first time that I talk about this because for you to know that not only it's okay to feel fear and tap into your love, but to know that these are experiences that resignify everything. I'm not expecting that after this experience, angels are going to come and sing to me. No, I know it's going to take time. I know it's going to take time for everything to settle, for the transformation to make. I am peeling away the layers with patience and with love. And that's what I have for you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you. Thank you. That's powerful beyond words. For taking the time and through the story with us. And we were drawn to you with the story. And as you took us on the journey, we were feeling that emotion as well, that everything that you went through and God, angel, whatever our beliefs might be, has really kept us you and kept the moment, such a time as this, that you can tell us to be strong, regardless if you're feeling afraid. And hold on, because there is power in that moment as well. So thank you.
You
Thank
know,
you.
listening listening to the story, Belle, it helps us to know that when we are going through troubled waters, the love that we have within us, we can survive. The love that we have that we pour out every day, that love that we pour out, that love could sustain us, and that love could hold us in moments when we think that we cannot even hold ourselves up. That love is so bigger than ourselves, and that love could hold us like a container and keep us alive if we could only trust in that love. If we could only trust in that love and understand the moments when we feel that fear and feel as though it's the end. If we could just go within and hold on to that love, we can survive.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, we can.
yes.
We can.
And I'm gonna say something very quickly. When those things happen, I know that again, for the people that are listening, the people that are watching, this is a metaphor, it's an analogy, right? But for me, that I lived it in the flesh, I can tell you everything that you need to know, it's already within.
Yes.
Everything that serves you, it's already there.
Yes.
Because you know how they say the last few seconds before you die, you remember your life. That's what happened to me. There was not a single moment in those 15 minutes of panic that I remembered a fight, somebody that has been hurtful to me. I didn't remember nothing bitter. I remember love. I remember my family. I thought of my kids. I thought of my mother, my father that passed away 2 years ago. I thought about my teachers, my friends. That's what I thought of. I never thought about a problem. So use this example, use this experience to remember that those things don't matter. The grudges, the resentment, it doesn't matter. That's never going to save you. Whether you're drowning in the ocean or drowning in your thoughts, that's never going to save you. What's going to save you is the love, the teachings, the connections with other humans, but most importantly, the connections with you. Because I wouldn't have been able to survive if I wouldn't have connected with me. And I know I have the certainty that my daughter survived because I was there. I was telling her, keep swimming, baby, you're going to make it. I know that my husband saw us fighting, and that helped him gather his strength. I know he had a really hard choice when he picked her up and looked at me. That was a hard choice. And his dad was on the other end. Can you imagine? So know that what saves you, it's already here. Focus on that. Focus on that and the surrendering and the matching and the surviving. It's it's already there.
You know,
Thank you. Thank you.
you really took us on a journey this afternoon, Belle. You took us on a journey and you help us to understand the true meaning of love. You help us to understand that whatever we are looking for is within our lives. You help us to understand that we all need to have that intimate connection with ourselves because many of us don't have that intimate connection with ourselves. And we really need to start to look at ourselves intimately. Go within. Look for the answers that you're looking for. It's within you. And you will able to unwrap yourself, peel back those layers, go to the core, and to really understand the true essence of yourself. You help us to understand that this afternoon. And thank you for sharing that story with us.
I am so grateful for you, for Joan. You are amazing. I think that I was blessed to find you in my life because you gave me that not only the opportunity, you opened that safety in me to talk about this, to make it an experience to be shared rather just something that I'm going to keep. This is a powerful experience that I am not the only one that has gone through things like this. As I said at the beginning, we all have had experiences that
Yes.
have brought us to our knees, but what do we do with it? How do we empower ourselves in our adulthood, in our womanhood, to do something with those experiences?
Mhm.
This is what our children learn from. Our children don't learn from our lectures. Our children don't learn from telling them, oh, you need to be confident. They learn by looking at us, by
Yeah.
seeing what we do with our lives, how we take care of our bodies, how do we take care of what the things that come out of our mouth.
Yes.
So that again, this is how we heal generations.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for choosing us and entrusting us with this in this space to share the story so beautiful. Thanking you for helping us to understand the real connection between mind, body, and soul, and that alignment, because that's the key. When we can align and become one, that it really can help us, and we reach that inner space, our inner soul, go deeper, because that can give that survival this mode, that when sometimes situation happen and we feel so afraid because we don't know what's going to happen, and we got to turn inwards, reach inside, and hold on to that power. And I want to touch on that quick piece too, also what we do in our day, the goodness we do, the love we share, when moments cannot even manage to help ourselves, everything that we've done, every deposit that we've made in others comes into that moment that we can't help ourselves. Those love and everything unknowingly and knowingly suspend us and keep us through those moments of trying times.
Yes. I love that, Joan. I
Yes,
love that.
yes,
I love that.
yes. Thank you so much. And thanks.
I,
Thank you. Has been a
you,
pleasure. Thank you very much.
you
We,
know,
we honor you
yes, we
I
honor
love you
you.
both.
Love you too. You
too.
know, sharing a story that powerful. It has so many meaning,
Hmm.
Hmm.
so many meaning. Because I I could look at that story as a cleansing.
Yeah, in the
You
ocean.
know, I could look at that story as cleansing because you were in a situation, you know, and you did not allow fear to take you over. You cleanse away the fear, and then you bring up the love from here. You bring the love up and allow the love to surround you and to surround your family too. So, because you decided to use the love from within and put away the fear and use the love, you was able to save everybody's life.
Oh my God, I love that.
You embody all of that. You
I
embody.
love that.
You
And
embody.
imagine if we use this example as a story to do that in our life. Let let the doubt, let the fear wash away and tap into your love. And I remember something that you told me, Karen, when I shared the story with you. You said how magical it is that this happened in your country. I am Mexican, and this was probably, I think it was the fourth time that I was in a Mexican beach after I came to live in Canada.
Hmm.
What are the odds that this would happen in my birthplace? That
Wow.
a rebirth would happen in my birthplace?
Wow.
And you said that, and that when you told me that, I was like, yeah, yes,
You know, many times we have to go back
To move
to
forward.
move forward,
Yeah.
you
That's
know. And many times when things are happening in our lives, we gotta sit, we gotta process these things that is happening.
yes,
Sometimes you gotta go back to your childhood.
mm,
Sometimes you gotta go back to the midway point of your life, you know. And when you go back and you examine all of these experiences, you examine these experiences at the core. And when you examine these experiences at the core, there is where you get all the answers that you're looking for.
exactly.
But many times we don't want to go through those going back, sitting, peeling away the layers to go to the core. But in order for us to understand ourselves, we gotta go to that core.
Hmm.
It may be so painful for us, but we need to go to the core, because when we go to that core, there is where we find the true essence
Yes,
of our lives.
yeah. It
yes,
becomes my.
It becomes
yes,
the magic that could turn that key to that could unlock that door for us to walk through, and walk through with grace, walk through with compassion, walk through with love. And then we
exactly.
appreciate the people around us,
Hmm.
and then we appreciate what we have. We
Yes.
value each moment that we live, each
Hmm.
minute. How important is each minute in our lives?
100%.
So
Yeah.
always feel free If you have to go back, if you got to pull back and ask yourself questions, go within yourselves. Even self, it call for you relinquishing relationships with people, do it for you.
Yeah,
Because the healing that you're going to be doing is for your generation.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So if you got to do that, do it for you. You owe it to yourself. Do
Yes.
it for you. It's
and
important.
it becomes very transformative because then
Yes.
your mind and you are being shaped in a different space of a
Yes.
receiving mode for the abundance and the beauty
Exactly.
and the miracle
Exactly.
and all the evolving things that's yet to come.
Yes.
Oh,
Exactly. And this is it was the theme of our call. How do we live a life that we can learn from? How do
right,
we
Right.
reinvent ourselves through this? Through knowing that life is putting ahead things so we can continue. Life is never going to put things in our way so we can,
right,
stay there and not move. It's because God knows we can handle it. God
yes,
knows. So
yeah,
trust that. Trust. So you learn a life, you live a life that you can learn from by using those experiences, by
Yes.
getting out of the victim mentality,
Yes.
by asking the questions, what is this telling me? Why do I have to learn? What can I transform? By being patient, by getting to the core, by being open. Because for me, I could say, oh my gosh, I'm never going back to the ocean. I'm traumatized. No, guess what
mm,
we're going to do? By the end of this year, we're going to go back, not in a jet ski. We're going to go in a little boat. We're going to go and give thanks. We're going to give
Yes.
thanks to Mother Nature, to God, to
Yes.
that same ocean for keeping us alive. Because if this was something that happened, it brought us closer together. So we're going
yeah.
to go back and thank. Yeah.
Wow, how awesome it is. And then you also will be facing your fear and knowing that you came out on the other side in the most beautiful way. And the connection that was built is everlasting, one that will never
Yes. Yes.
and all.
And yeah. And to kind of like end this with something powerful. Everybody that's watching, you beautiful ladies, me tonight, let's give thanks. Let's give gratitude to
Yeah,
all of those experiences that made us sad, that made us angry, that brought us fear, that brought us doubt. Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, life.
Yes.
Thank you for giving me those
Yes.
big lessons
Yes.
because that's why I'm here. That's why I'm talking to you both today. That's why I'm talking to people. This is why we do what we do. Thank you for letting me live that so I can be in service. Thank
thank you. And to the audience members, please connect with Belle. She's one of the most person, delightful to speak with, and will help you to evolve as well. From your own situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Belle, for helping us to understand that life will always show us reasons to live.
Mhm.
Thank you for taking the time today and sharing your story with us. Thank you for the 250 days of being sober. Thank you. Because
thank
by
you.
doing that, you have healed so much of generation.
Yes.
You know, you are an example to your daughter. You're an example to so many other people who will be watching this show on the replay.
Yes,
Yes.
So
Yes.
many lives would be saved by hearing your story.
Yes.
yes,
So many people would understand that there is hope and to never give up. Whatever experiences or situation that you might be going through at this point in time, you give us hope and let us know that we could fall, but we could still stand again and stand stronger. We could look up and we could get up. We could
Yes.
heal and we could start walking again. So
Yes.
thank you for taking the time to share your story on soul, light, and body. Thank you for choosing this platform to go to the core and bring out that story for us today. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that.
Thank
And to the
you.
audience, thank you so much for taking the time today and to sit with us for this 1 hour. I just hope that you take away some tools from this show today and that you could able to incorporate these tools in your life. One of the biggest tool is love. Love, let love be the center of your toolbox.
Yes.
When the days that you're feeling down, when the days that you're feeling frustrated, when the days that you're feeling stressful, reach for that tool love and use that tool love in your life so you could pour and give to others that love, that compassion. You could pour it out and you could give it to others to help others that they could go on their journey also.
Yes.
Thank each and every one of you for your comments. They are beautiful comments. Thank you so much because we have people from Australia,
London.
people from London, and it's pretty late there. Thank you for sitting up with us this 1 hour to listen to this beautiful story that Belle bring to us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And if anybody wants my free list of what I talked about today, the steps, reach out. I'll send it to you. You don't have to give me your email address, nothing. I'll just send it to you so you can read it on your own and apply it. Apply it.
Yes.
Yes.
Reach out to Belle. All her handles are in the comments below.
Yeah.
Reach out to her, talk to her, tell her how you're feeling, and she will help you to make that transformation that you're looking for. Reach out to her.
Right.
Yes. And we have a masterclass coming up on womb healing on Sunday, the 30th of April at 9 a.m. You can register. The link is in the comments below. You can go and you can register. This is going to be, it's a free masterclass. Go and register and you will be able to understand how to get to that core to start that healing process in your life.
Sign up.
And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share Soul, Light, and Body, that you will never miss none of these juicy episodes. Mr. Tommy Thompson, thank you so much for being behind the scenes and helping the show to run successfully. Thank you so much. Belle, thank you once again for taking the time to sit with us and sharing this beautiful story of love. Thank you.
We love you.
We love you.
I love you both.
And you guys have a wonderful week and see you guys on Monday. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.